Hello everyone, this is Mr. Supnil Bapusai Bherwadi, the lecturer in Mechanical Engineering Department in Shah Institute of Technology Polytechnic Gadra, Ichalkaranji. So I am here with the second lecture on chapter number 3, that is cast iron. So we will start with the actual lecture, okay? So our chapter number 3 is cast iron, and we have already studied the four types of cast iron, just like a grey cast iron, white cast iron, then malleable cast iron, ductile cast iron in last lecture, okay, with their properties, composition and applications. Next, in this topic, in this lecture, we are going to study the designation of steel with respect to the Indian standards. That is, we can say it is IS, okay, and with the the designation of some types, we can see the first is plain carbon steel, second free cutting steel, then low and medium alloy steel, high speed steel, and high alloy steel. Okay. Next, we will start with the actual okay. See, designation of steel. This is the main point. What is meant by designation? Designation is nothing but a name given to any element. Just like you are the students, it is your name. Just I am a lecturer. It is my name. Okay. So same way we are going to designate a steel because, as you know, in our class there are so many students. Everyone has its own unique identity, its own unique name, surname, father's name, and then also the college provides you the unique roll number, or MSBT is also providing the unique enrollment number, right? Why it is so? Because they want to designate every student. Same way, as we know, there are so many types of steels. There are very large number of different types of steels manufactured and available in the market. So to differentiate between the steels, we must designate the steel with its own name. Okay, when we go to the market, we cannot buy something with the huge its name that please give me a plain carbon steel with carbon this much, manganese this much, sulfur this much, all this much. This is not the way to demand something. Just we want to give a steel a proper name so that I can buy. Please give me a steel of 20 C8. That 20 C8 says all. Means you doesn't want to demand that give me plain carbon steel of this much, this much, this much. It is not the thing. Okay. Just say I want a steel of 20 C8, means I want a steel of plain carbon steel, and the retailer will know what we want. Okay. So for this purpose, or to make differentiation between the so many number of, we can find out the 1000 number of steels. So we want to differentiate it between it. Okay. So see, the steels can be differentiated on the basis of their chemical composition, okay, on the basis of their properties, on the basis of the applications. Okay. So therefore the steels, and to designate the steels into different groups, we have four common methods. Okay, these are the four common methods. First is AISI standards, that is American Iron and Steel Institute, it is AISI. Then we have SAE, that is Society of Automotive Engineers. Then we have IS, that is Indian standards, and then we have BS, that is British standards. Okay, these are the standards which are maintained to have a proper notation for a steel throughout the world. Okay, and it is useful to have a good interchangeability of materials or the components when we go for the any assembly line. Okay. So as we are Indians, or we are in India, or we are Indian citizens, we follow the IS standards, that is we can call it as Indian standards. Okay. So first, in this lecture, we are going to see the whole about the IS designation of steels. Okay. So steels are designated by two ways. First thing, based on its mechanical property, and second, based on its chemical property. So we will first see the mechanical property, and thereafter we will go through the chemical properties. Okay. So first, based on mechanical property. Okay. See, according to IS standard, steel are designated by the symbol Fe. That is its ions symbol. Okay, that is Fe. Or, as per IS standards, steel are designated by, means steel are named by symbol Fe, capital F, small e. Okay, remember it. Then if Fe represents the minimum tensile strength of material. Okay, see here below, you, we have written something like Fe 290. Okay, if only we have Fe, then whatever number followed by that Fe, it is a minimum tensile strength of that material. Okay, and if we have Fe and capital E again, then this see here we have this one, F small e then capital E, and it is followed by a number that is 320. Then this number will be a minimum yield strength. You are getting or not? Means Fe which is followed by a number, that number will be the minimum tensile strength of that material. And we have, if we have the Fee and it is followed by some number, that number will be the minimum yield strength. And as you know, the strength is always have a unit, that is in Newton per mm square. Okay, so we can take some examples. Okay, see, Fe 290. As we know, if there is only Fe means this number will be a minimum tensile strength. So I can write here as this is a steel. As we know, see, this is Fe 290. As we know, Fe is a steel and it is followed by a number that is 290. Okay, so I can write steel having minimum tensile strength of 290 Newton per mm square. Means if you have only Fe followed by a number, this number will be a minimum tensile strength in Newton per mm square. Okay, next we have Fee and followed by the some number, and we know that Fee means the number followed by this is a minimum yield strength. So I can write the steel having minimum yield strength of 320 Newton per mm square. You are getting or not? See, we will go to the next one. See, Fe 330. As we know, Fe means the number followed by it is a minimum tensile strength. So I can write the steel having minimum tensile strength of 330 Newton per mm square. Next, if you have Fee, that is capital E, and it is followed by some number, then we know that Fee, it is followed by some number, means this number will be a minimum yield strength. So I can write here the steel having minimum yield strength of 520 Newton per mm square. Okay, if you go to the any retailer and you ask for Fe 290, then he will give you the steel with 290 Newton per mm square of its minimum tensile strength. Okay, so this is what we know about the designations. You cannot go to the any shop and demand that give me a steel which have minimum tensile strength of 290 Newton per mm square. He is not going to give you because he only understand this one, because you follow the standards. And you must also follow the standards so that your communication is viable. Okay, you cannot demand this whole line. Okay, you just demand this one. So it required the designation. You are getting or not? So only Fe is there. Followed number will be minimum tensile strength. If there is a Fe, then followed number will be minimum yield strength. Okay, you are clear with this one? And this is the only point in mechanical properties. So okay, we will go through the chemical properties. See, based on chemical property, so here we have some compositions. Okay, so here total we have total 5 parts, like first is the plain carbon steel, second free cutting steel, then we will go through the low and medium alloy steel, fourth will be the high speed steel, and fifth will be the high alloy steel. Okay, so we will go one by one slowly. Okay, first see what it is actually. Okay, so here first is a plain carbon steel. Okay, just we will go through the examples, you get everything well. Okay, so see example 20C8. Okay, here we have two numbers, that is 20 and 8, and in between we have C. C is nothing but a symbol. Okay, we can at initial we can say it is symbol. Okay, see here what this is, the first number that is 20 means this first number 20 indicate the 100 times average percent of carbon content. That is, see, if we have 20C8, see here we have two numbers and in between we have only C. C, that is nothing but a carbon, for carbon. Okay, if we have anything like this written like this, then this will be called as a plain carbon steel. Means a something which have two numbers and in between we have a symbol of carbon, then this steel will be a plain carbon steel. Okay, understood? Means by seeing this only you can say that this is a plain carbon steel of what? C. As we know, in steel carbon is below 2%, so it is not case that 20% will not be the carbon content, 8% will also not be the carbon content. Okay, so we will go like, see, the first number, always remember from this side, from a left side, the first number is always a carbon content. First number is always a carbon content in steel. Okay, it may have some alphabets in front of it. Then also the first number, I am saying the first number, this first number is always a carbon content. How much it is? This represents the 100 times than what actual carbon content it have. Means if we divide this 20 by 100, we get 0.2%. Means this plain carbon steel have 0.2% carbon. Simply remember this, the first number will be divided by 100 and this will be a 0.2 and it is always a carbon. Okay, and second number which is followed by C, this second number is of manganese and is show the manganese content. Okay, as we divide the first number by 100, same way divide second number by 10 only. Okay, because this shows, this 8 shows, what it shows, it indicates 10 times average percent of manganese content. Means divide this first carbon with a 100 and this 8 with a 10 which is a manganese content. So 8 by 10 it is a 0.8% manganese. You are getting or not? If we have only this much 20C8, only two numbers, one symbol that is C means carbon. So you can say this is a plain carbon steel. Okay, we will go through the C. First number is always a carbon content, second number is always a manganese content. Okay, C. We go through the second example. That is, we have 4C2. As we know, two numbers, one symbol that is C means this is a plain carbon steel. Okay, next, the first number is always a carbon content and it is always divided by the 100. That is 4 by 100 we get 0.04. So 0.04% carbon, and second number is always a content of manganese which is 10 times. So divide 2 by 10 we get 0.2. So 0.2% manganese. You are getting or not? The first number from this side will always a carbon content and second number in plain carbon steel will be a manganese content. Okay, next again we have example 30C8. Again we have two numbers 30 and 8. Again one symbol that is C means carbon, means this will be a plain carbon steel with, as we know, the first number is always a carbon content. So divide this first number by 100, we get 0.3 means 0.3% carbon, and divide second number, that second number will be a manganese content. Divide this 8 by 10, we get 0.8, that is 0.8% manganese. This is so much simple. If you have something like this, two numbers, one carbon symbol, then this will be a plain carbon steel. Okay, divide the first number by 100, you get carbon content. Divide the second number by 10, you get manganese content. Okay, can you remember? Only this much will be a plain carbon steel. Divide first number by 100, get carbon content. Divide second number by 10, get a manganese content. Okay, okay, we will go to the second one. See, this is free cutting steel. In last only we have this much, that is 10C8. Okay, if we have here only this much, this will be a plain carbon steel. Okay, but here we have something again followed by capital S and a number. Getting or not? Means this is not a plain carbon steel. If we only have up to this, that is 10C8, this will be a plain carbon steel, but we have something other, that is again followed by S20, means this will be a something different than plain carbon steel, and this is we called as a free cutting steel. If we have three numbers, then carbon, and S means it is a sulfur, S it is a sulfur content, then this will be called as a free cutting steel. Means we have three numbers, two symbols, first symbol is C, second symbol is S, then this will be a free cutting steel. Okay, C. Always remember the first number from this side is always a carbon content and it is always 100 times than actual content. Okay, so always divide the first number, always divide this first number by 100. See, 10 divided by 100, we get 0.1% carbon. Okay, next. Letter C, as you know, indicates a carbon element. Second number, that is 8. As we know in plain carbon steel, C followed by some number, it is always a manganese content. How much it is? It is 10 times the average of manganese. So divide this 8 by 10, we get 0.8. So 0.8% manganese. And letter S indicates the sulfur content or sulfur element. Third number, that is 20, indicates the 100 times of average percent of sulfur. So why it is 100 times? Because sulfur is a troublesome element. It will trouble your components. So it is always present in a less number. So this third number is divided by 100. So we get 20 by 100. It is 0.2% sulfur. Okay. So see, if you have something like this 10C8S20, then this will be a free cutting steel. Okay. Remember, only if you have 10C8, it is plain carbon steel. We have something another, that is we have S20, that is 10C8S20. This combination will be called as a free cutting steel. Okay. See, first number is carbon content divided by 100. Second number is manganese content divided by 10. Third number will be sulfur content divided by 100. You get actual contents. Okay. See, we can go through the second example. It is something like we have same numbers. Okay. See, 14C14S14. As we know, if we have this type of combination, this will be a free cutting steel. We will go first number, that is 14. It will be a carbon content divided by 100. We get 0.14, that is 0.14% carbon. Second number, we know this will be a manganese content. Divide this by 10, we get 1.4, that is 1.4% manganese. And third number, that is 14, it is sulfur content. So divide this by 100, because sulfur is a troublesome element, so it is always divided by 100. So we get 0.14% sulfur. Okay, so this is simple, it is no issue about it. Okay, if we have this combination, this is free cutting steel, divide the first number by 100, second number by 10, third number by 100. Okay, see, we have another example, 14C10 Pb15. Just we replace the S with another symbol, that is a Pb. Pb means lead. Okay, see, again we have the same combination. If we have only this much 40C10, then this is a plain carbon steel. We have something different, that is 14C10 Pb15. This combination will be called as a free cutting steel. Okay, see, again always first number is a carbon content, divide this by 100. So we are divided here 14 by 100, we get 0.14. So 0.14% carbon. Again divide second number, we know this is manganese, divide this by 10, we get 10 by 10 1, that is 1% manganese. And divide again this same, lead and sulfur, all are the troublesome elements. Okay, both are the troublesome elements. So divide this by again 100, we get 0.15. So 0.15% lead. Okay, you are getting or not? So this type of combination will be a free cutting steel. Divide the first number by 100, you get actual carbon content. Divide second number by 10, you get manganese content. And divide third number with 100, it may be a sulfur or lead, you get sulfur content or lead content. Okay, next, this is low and medium alloy steel. Low and medium alloy steel. See, in this, see, we will go through the example directly. Okay, this will be easy to understand you. See, we have example like 40Cr4MO2. See, in last two types we see something symbol like C. Here no C. Here just we have only different alloying elements. Okay, but remember again this, that from this side the first number is always a carbon content, because steel is not possible without carbon. So first number is always a carbon content. See, okay, in this low and medium alloy steel, okay, we have something, a table. In first two types we have seen, like if we have first number divided by 100, second number divided by 10, third number divided by 100. Same way here just we have a table. We cannot divide simply by 100, 10, 15, 20. Okay, here we have a table. If we have elements like chromium, cobalt, nickel, manganese, silicon and tungsten, divide its number by 4, means if we have, see, 40Cr4MO2, see, this first number, its carbon content, it is how much? 100 times the actual content. So we divide, see here we have the same example. So we divide this 40 by 100, we get 0.4% carbon. Okay, so the next Cr4, this Cr means chromium and followed by some number 4, that is means that number will be divided by this divisible factor, these three divisible factors. So you must get where is the Cr. See, Cr is in a first row, so its divisible factor is 4. So we will going to divide this 4 with the this divisible. This is 4 will be this number, and this 4 is the this one, that is divisible factor we get is equal to 1. So this alloy will contain 1% chromium. Okay, next we have 2 with followed by MO. MO means molybdenum, where it is actually, it is in a second row here. Okay, this is MO, its factor is 10, means we can divide this 2, divide this 2 by 10. 10 is a divisible factor, we get 0.2, means this alloy will contain the 0.2% molybdenum. Okay, just the first number is of carbon, second number is followed by its alloying elements. Okay, so see the factor, see your element where it is placed and see the divisible factor and simply divide the number with this factor. Okay, see we have an example second, that is 35 Mn2 MO28. 35 will be the carbon content, simply divided by 100, that is 35 by 100, we get 0.35, that is 0.35% carbon. Then we have Mn2, we have Mn in first row, this is Mn, that is manganese, divisible factor is 4, so we can divide this 2, this number, by 4, we get 0.5, so here we can write 0.5% manganese. And next we have Mo, that is molybdenum, where it is in second row, followed by number 28. So divide this 28 by this factor, that is 10. So we can divide 28 by 10, we get 2.8. So here we have 2.8% molybdenum. It is simple one. See, where in such type of combinations you doesn't have C. Okay, just we have some alloying elements. Always remember this will be a low or medium alloy steel. Okay, you get in exam, you just get some questions ki identify the steel. See, in first case we have only C, it is plain carbon steel. In second we have C plus S or PB, it is free cutting steel. And here we doesn't have C, here we have different alloying elements. So this will be the low or medium alloy steel. Okay, we will go to the next one. This is high speed tool steel, that is also called as HSS, high speed tools, HSS. This is very simple, as you know. See here we have example right now, XT75 W18 Cr4 V1. As we know, the first number from this side will be always a carbon content, but before that we have a symbol, that is XT. Always remember this XT indicates that this steel is a high speed tool steel. Okay, next this 75 indicates the 100 times the average carbon content. So always see here we have example XT75 W18 Cr4 V1. This is only one example for high speed steel. Okay, see high speed steel, as we know, as if it is started with XT means it is a high speed steel. Then 75, always the first number will be the carbon content, so divide it by 100, we get 0.75% carbon. Okay, see, if anything start with the XT, it is high speed steel. Then we have different alloying elements, that is W means tungsten, Cr means chromium, V means vanadium. Okay, when we start with the XT, then the numbers which are followed by some elements, take these numbers as it is, no divisible factor. Okay, so right here 18% followed by W, 18 followed by W. Okay, so 18% tungsten, here we have Cr4 means 4% chromium, we have V1, that is 1% vanadium. Write it as it is because it is start with the XT. If it is not start with the XT, then this will be a low or medium alloy steel. We have some table to have a divisible factors, but as this is start with the XT, this will be a high speed steel. First number will be a carbon content divided by 100, and other numbers will be taken as it is with its alloying elements. Okay, same 0.75% carbon, 18% with its tungsten, 4% with chromium, 1% with vanadium. This is high speed steel. Okay, next high alloy steel. Example, we'll go through example. As the last one start with the XT, this will start with the X. If letter X indicates the high alloy steel, what? It indicates the high alloy steel. And same way here also, we have Cr18, Ni9 means Cr means chromium, it is 18, Ni means nickel, it is 9. See here. X indicates the high alloy steel. 10, always the first number is always a carbon content, so divide 10 by 100, we get 0.10. So 0.10% carbon. Next we have Cr18 and Ni9. These numbers will be taken as it is because it is start with the X or it is start with the XT. These alloying elements following numbers will be taken as it is. So you can take 18% chromium and 9% nickel as it is. When only you have started with the something like XT or X. Otherwise you have the divisible factors for alloying elements. Okay, you are clear? So we have studied the plain carbon steel, free cutting steel, then low and medium alloy steel, high speed steel and high alloy steel. Just we can take a revision because it may confuse you, because we have started from last half an hour, we are seeing this, you may confuse somewhere. Okay, see, if we only have a C in between, this will be a plain carbon steel. If we have C plus some other alloying element, that is S or PB, this will be a free cutting steel. Okay, if we have something other than C, that is all alloying elements, that is Cr and MO, this will be a low alloy steel, low or medium alloy steel. Okay, and if we have something which is started with the XT, this will be a high speed steel, and something which is start with the X, it will be a high alloy steel. Okay, you are getting or not? Simply only have a C, plain carbon steel. We have C plus S, free cutting steel. We have something other than C means some alloying elements, it is low alloy steel. If we start with the XT, this is high speed steel. Start with the X, it is high alloy steel. Okay, see, if we have this like this 40C10, this is plain carbon steel. First number divided by 100, we get 0.4% carbon. Second number divided by 10, 1% manganese. If I only see, first number will be carbon, second number will be manganese. In second, 25C15S12, first number will be carbon, divided by 100, we get 0.25% carbon. Second number will be of manganese, divided by 10, we get 1.5% manganese. S will be sulfur, sulfur is a troublesome element, divided by 100, we get 0.12% sulfur. Next, 30Cr8MO3, this is low alloy steel because there is no C in between. So this is low alloy steel. For this we have a table with the divisible factors. As we know, Cr placed in first row, or we can say 30 is a carbon content, we can divide it by 100, we get 0.3% carbon. Cr in the first row, its factor is 4, so 8 by 4 we get 2% carbon. MO will be in second row, which having factor 10, so we can divide 3 by 10, we get 0.3% molybdenum. Second, XT 75W18Cr4V1. This example is only one for high speed steel. Okay, so we start with the XT is high speed steel. First number will be divided by 100, that is 0.75% carbon, and other number will be taken as it is, 18% tungsten, 4% chromium, 1% vanadium. And something which is start with the X, this will be a high alloy steel. First number will be carbon content, divided by 100, we get 0.5% carbon, and next alloying elements and its number taken as it is, that is 15% chromium, 8% nickel. Okay, so you might understood it well. This will be usable for your third year design subject also, so always remember it well. Okay, so thank you one and all for listening it well and understood it well, and practice at your homes so that you can get it well. Okay, thank you everyone.